Now, I can't be the only one who suffered through Kim Kardashian's Santa Baby music video. Now, it looks like Kim Kardashian is stepping back into music, and there was a lot to take away from this music video. It starred Macaulay Culkin and a few other celebrities, alongside some really cryptic and graphic imagery. It looks like Kim Kardashian is trying to claim the new Queen of Christmas title. The 44-year-old recorded the track during season 3 of her family's reality show, The Kardashians, and it was produced by Travis Barker. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, you would know that Travis Barker and Kim Kardashian have history. They were romantically linked before, and I'm pretty sure he wrote about Kim inside of his book. So I don't know how Courtney feels that Kim and Travis are so close, but it seems like they have their own thing going on. Let's take a look at the moment when Kim was recording this cover.
Can we turn it down a little bit so I can hear myself a little bit?
Ah, you can't. No laughing, guys.
She can't hear us.
She really does want to be Marilyn Monroe, doesn't she? It kind of like, it seems like she's trying so hard to be that character.
I know, but she could see us.
Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree.
Not Santa.
Wow.
Been an awful good girls.
Okay, I mean, I think that's enough. So Kim dropped the film on Instagram without many details, but she did reveal it was directed by Nadia Lee Cohen. Now, I actually did some research into Nadia on my own time, and I was like, wait, what is going on with this woman? She has a track record of creating these kind of cryptic pieces, but also like leveraging glamour and like old like 60s and 70s kind of vibes. I don't know what her mission was with this video, but it did leave people with a kind of like bad feeling. I mean, Christmas is supposed to be cheerful, but this feels like a horror film. One person commented they thought they were hallucinating. What in the acid trip hell is this? Another person commented, this is unhinged. It's like a fever dream. Another person asked, what the F did I just watch? Now, we know that Kim was a part of American Horror Story. I'm still confused by that because part of the show came out and then did the rest come out? I know there was the strike, but I like lost interest. Anyways, it does seem like this is very much American Horror Story inspired.
I have a theory as to why Kim Kardashian posted this insanely bizarre video of her singing Santa Baby, and people are not going to be happy about this one. Seriously, one of the most bizarre videos I've watched on the internet, and that's saying a lot. There's Jesus opening the fridge, Kim crawling, and people fighting behind her. I'm shocked if you even made it to this part of the video. So why did Kim do this? Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you heard Kim Kardashian's name in the news? Not for a while, right? In my opinion, this was just a way to get people talking about her.
Now, Kim hasn't given us much detail into what inspired her video so far. She hasn't taken on the press for that yet, and maybe she's gonna save it for the show. I mean, they need something for this show. Wendy Williams is out and about, which we are happy to see, and she says that she's sober and wants to come home. Wendy Williams is back on the wagon and she's ready to return home, at least that's according to her son, Kevin Hunter Jr. And he shared a healthy update on his mother saying she's sober and she's ready. Now, it is unclear where Wendy is living now. Of course, it's not with family. Her legal guardian, Sabrina Morsi, filed court documents claiming that Wendy is cognitively impaired and, remember, permanently incapacitated. We made a video about that on the main channel recently, but Kevin claims that it would be better for her to be home. That isolation is killing her faster than anything else. Wendy's last 2 public outings have been down in Florida, including a trip to Miami for Kevin's graduation from Florida International University. Actually, fun fact, I almost went and got a PhD from there, but I decided just to get into the workforce because, you know, imagine I would have had a PhD in like statistics. New video from Kevin's big day shows Wendy getting ready for the ceremony. She was getting her nails done and a new wig. Let's go ahead and take a look at that footage together. It brings me so much joy to see that Wendy is doing well.
What's that? Biggie, that's Biggie Small. All that and then some. Come on.
So it's good to see that Wendy is interacting and she's spending an entire day just like getting her nails done, hanging out, getting a wig made, going to the ceremony, and she's jumping up and she seems just fine. Now, I'm not going to forget about her issues with addiction. She's been super open about these, and we saw what happened in the documentary, but now that she's sober, I am curious to how she would test on that dementia scale or her psychosis or being again, permanently incapacitated. I mean, I don't know what that means technically, but like, doesn't that kind of sound like a vegetable? Like, I don't know. Now, I saw that Lizzo was on Keke Palmer's podcast. We spoke about how Lizzo was served several lawsuits by her dancers back in 2023 with allegations of sexual harassment, body shaming, and a toxic workplace, which, again, like, why would there be body shaming, like, in a Lizzo project? I thought she was the body positivity queen, but we heard stories about that. We also heard the really weird banana story. To give you guys a refresher, back in 2023, she was sued by 3 former dancers, and then a month later, it looks like her stylist also sued her and the company because she claims that Lizzo allowed a sexualized and racially charged work environment. Now, almost more than a year later, Lizzo has finally opened up in depth about these allegations in an interview with Keke Palmer. Now, Lizzo is telling Keke that she feels completely surprised by these allegations and these lawsuits, and she didn't see it coming. She said, quote, "These are people I gave opportunities to. These are people I liked them, and I appreciate them as dancers." So I was like, wait, what? But then I heard all the other things like harassment, and they were trying to, well, I don't know what they were trying to do, but these type of things that the media can turn into something that it's not, Lizzo shared before calling the allegations in the lawsuit ridiculous and silly. So it does seem like maybe she's still dealing with it. I'm not entirely sure, or there's settlements, but she's definitely discounting these people's claims.
I was literally living in my dream, and then the tour ended, and 3 ex-dancers just completely like blindsided me with a lawsuit.
So let's talk about that so I can get the exact facts right before we get into it. It's 2023. They come with a lawsuit, and it's
I'm glad that like she's pressing her on the facts.
a bunch of different claims about harassment, assault. Were you surprised? Did you know about it beforehand, that it was coming before we saw it hit the net? Or was it a complete blindside situation?
I was completely surprised.
Really?
I was very deeply hurt because, you know, these were 3 ex-dancers.
She does seem a little bit nervous talking about it, right? I don't know.
So they weren't on the tour. They didn't like finish the tour out with us. But even regardless of that, these were people that I gave opportunities to. These were people that I
wonder what she means by they like stopped midway through tour, because I feel like a lot of dancers, they go through the entire tour, but I don't know. If you guys know more, comment below.
I liked them and appreciated them as dancers, respected them as dancers. So I was like, what? But then I heard all the other things like sexual harassment, and I was like, they're trying, well, I don't know what they're trying to do, but these are the types of things that the media can turn into something that it's not.
Further into the podcast, Keke pushed Lizzo to share her side of one of the explosive claims where her dancers felt pressured to go into a nude bar. Lizzo began by explaining that she often visited dance recitals and burlesque shows when she was in Europe, and that in this case, she went to a venue known as Crazy Horse in Paris. She explained, "So I've gone for years and I invited the performers to this event saying, you guys should come through and watch this show and get inspired. This time I gave an invitation. It wasn't mandatory. I was just like, hey, I'm going to Crazy Horse. Everyone's invited if you want to come." And there were plenty of people who did not come, she says. "We watched the show. It was an amazing show, and the Crazy Horse performers wanted to meet me afterwards." Lizzo claims that all the dancers, including the ones that were involved in the lawsuit against her, agreed to meet the performers and participate in a meet and greet. The singer told Keke that nothing beyond the meeting happened, and they all went home after the event. Throughout the podcast, Lizzo continues to deny all the allegations made against her and all the lawsuits, and continue to state that she did nothing wrong. Now, there was one of these lawsuits by one of these dancers that was dismissed in court. Lizzo shared that she was dismissed from one of the cases, not dropped, but a judge saw this in court and said, okay, we can't allow this to go through because the evidence wasn't evidencing against the claims. Now, actually, this dancer's lawyer decided to respond after she went on Keke's show. Now, this dancer's lawyer chimed in and said, hey, Lizzo, you don't have that right. I'm going to read it verbatim. He says, well, Lizzo, this is why he claims you're wrong. The lawsuit is still very active and has not been dismissed. The ruling was not for lack of evidence, but rather on procedural jurisdiction grounds. It by no means absolves Lizzo of the egregious claims that occurred on her watch. We're going to keep our eye on Lizzo because I don't think she's going to be able to wipe her hands clean of these lawsuits that easily. This is one of the nastiest things I've read in a long time. Diddy had this employee who was hired for not freak-offs, but a new phrase. Let me introduce you guys to Wild King Nights, which is when Diddy made one of his employees, his name is Philip Pines, set up these hotel rooms for intense sex parties. He worked for Diddy between the years 2019 through 2021, so relatively recently. And when you guys are questioning who's the one that does all of Diddy's dirty work, well, this is Philip Pines, and now he's coming forward. Philip claims that he had set up hotel rooms Diddy used for group parties. We're gonna have to blank some of this out with red lights, ice buckets, alcohol, some pot, honey packs for male libido, baby oil, ooh, not baby oil, Astroglide towels, drugs, and power banger intimate machines. He said that Diddy referred to these nights as the Wild King Nights. Wild King Nights. Like, are we dealing with a 14-year-old? Like, what are we talking about? Just such a stupid name, a stupid concept for like just a creepy man. Oh no, Philip shares that not only did Diddy hire him to set this all up, but he also hired him to clean up the mess too, removing any evidence, any condoms, toys, stains from bodily fluids. Ew, let's blank some of that out as well. That's so nasty. Philip says he would often leave a big tip upon checkout to appease the house cleaning staffs at the hotel to make sure none of the damage was reported. Philip says that Diddy would test his loyalty by forcing him to also get intimate with anyone he wants him to while Diddy watched. And he says that Diddy treated it like an animal playing fetch in order to prove his loyalty. Diddy's legal team responded saying no matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Diddy has never essayed or trafficked any man or woman, adult or minor. We live in a world where anyone can file a lawsuit for any reason. Fortunately, a fair and impartial judicial process exists to find the truth, and Diddy is confident that he will prevail in court. I know we're about to get into the new year, but May is going to be here so quickly, and Diddy will have his moment in court. Now, Halle Bailey's baby daddy, rapper DGG, buys a brand new Ferrari for his 1-year-old son. Is it really for the 1-year-old son? I mean, that's the biggest excuse for a dad to buy his 1-year-old son a Ferrari. DGG, whose real name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., quite a name, once upon a time was with Halle Bailey. They had their son Halo back in December 2023, but the two broke up earlier this year. Now, the child had a Coco Melon themed birthday party, but DGG brought out a birthday present, a cherry red Ferrari F8. And again, I don't know whose birthday they're celebrating here, a 1-year-old with a car. He even posted, look what I bought Halo for his first birthday. Again, I don't quite understand what the kid would want to do with this thing. I mean, it probably would actually scare the kid, the child, to be like in that car going fast, and if it's really loud.
Hey, loud! Hey, loud! I don't know how to do it either. He no dude.
DGG topped it off by tweeting, people are mad that their son is playing Hot Wheels and mine is playing with Ferraris. Just work harder. Now that's quite the note to end on, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of The Sloan Show. I really appreciate you guys watching this series. Let me know what you think about this. It's, you know, a few different like hot topic stories within one, and I like posting them and like going through what is going on, keeping you guys up to date. So if you haven't checked me out on Instagram, please do. We're so close to 100K on there. I would be so happy. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye guys.